Mirror, mirror on the wall, what is the best real-time strategy game of them all?
And on the 10th place we have Cossacks, a real-time strategy game developed in Ukraine by GSC Game World and released in 2001. It features 16 playable nations, each with its own architectural style, technologies and units. Another impressive aspect of Cossacks is the technology tree, which is having more than 300 upgrades. The game has 3 standalone expansion packs: Back to War, which focus on multiplayer, European Wars and The Art of War, which adds new campaigns and new nations to the game. Cossacks is a top-selling title and has won 2 awards and was positively favored by a majority of reviewers. The game has been re-released again in 2011 on Steam, along with its sequel Cossacks 2. On the 9th place we have Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, a sci-fi real-time strategy game developed by Gas-Powered Games. Supreme Commander Forged Alliance was released back in 2007 and it continues the campaign of Supreme Commander, only this time the Seraphim faction is added to the game and they represent a threat to all 3 previous factions, the UEF, the Aeon and the Cybern. Supreme Commander Forged Alliance adds new gameplay features to the game, several new units for the 3 pre-existent factions, and it is further optimized for increased performance in response to the issues with the original. On the 8th place we have Warcraft 3, a high fantasy real-time strategy game developed by Blizzard Entertainment and released in 2002. The action takes place in the fictional world of Azeroth, and the game continues the story of Warcraft 2. The game features 4 races: orcs, humans, elves and dwarves, and the Warcraft 3 campaign mode is broken up into 5 pieces, each featuring a different race which the player controls. The game proved to be a best-seller and one of the most anticipated and popular computer game releases, with 4.5 million units shipped to retail stores and over 1 million units sold within a month. Warcraft 3 won many awards, including Game of the Year from more than 6 different publications. And on the 7th place we have Red Alert 2, a sci-fi real-time strategy game developed by Westwood Pacific, and it was released on 2000, and it's the sequel of Command & Conquer Red Alert. The action is set during the early 70s, and the game only features 2 playable factions, the Soviets and the Allies, and there is 1 campaign for each faction. The single-player campaign is structured to have an alternate ending mode, meaning that based on the player decisions, the ending of the campaign can be different. Red Alert 2 proved to be a success commercially, and it was very well welcomed by the public. In 2000, Command & Conquer Red Alert 2 won the Gold Award from the German Viewed for selling more than 100,000 units in Germany, Austria and Switzerland. On the 6th place we have Rome Total War, a historical strategy game that perfectly combines turn-based strategy with the real-time strategy elements. The game was developed by Creative Assembly and released in 2004. The main campaign is set during the rule of late Roman Republic and early Roman Empire. The player can initially choose between 3 Roman families, and he can expand his empire across all Europe, including parts of North Africa and Near East. Rome Total War has 2 official expansions: Barbarian Invasion, which is set during the migration period, allowing the players to take control over the barbarian nations, and the Alexander expansion, which puts the player into the role of Alexander the Great and replays his conquests and battles. Rome Total War has been critically acclaimed by many reviewers who regard it as one of the best strategy games of all time, winning numerous awards and selling millions of copies. On the 5th place we have Company of Heroes. This is a real-time strategy game set during the World War II and developed by Relic Entertainment. The game was released in 2006. All the missions in the single-player campaign take place during the Battle of Normandy and are played from the perspective of the American Able Company and Fox Company. Upon its release, the game received wide critical acclaim, and till today it sold over 4 million copies. Company of Heroes was the 3rd highest rated game of 2006, the highest rated PC game of 2006, and the highest rated strategy game of all time. As of 2012, it remains the highest rated real-time strategy game and the highest rated strategy game. And on the 4th place we have the well-known Starcraft. This is a science fiction real-time strategy game developed and published by Blizzard Entertainment back in 1998. The game is set in a fictitious timeline during the Earth's 25th century, and it includes 3 species fighting for dominance in a distant part of the Milky Way galaxy known as Coprolus Sector. The Terrans, humans exiled from Earth skilled at adapting to any situation, the Zerg, a race of insectoid aliens in the pursuit of genetic perfection, obsessed with assimilating other races, and the Protoss, a humanoid species with an advanced technology and psionic abilities, attempting to preserve their civilization and strict philosophical way of living from the Zerg. Starcraft became the best-selling PC game in 1998, selling over 1.5 million copies worldwide. In the next decade, Starcraft sold over 9.5 million copies across the globe, with 4.5 million of this being sold only in South Korea. Since the initial release of Starcraft, Blizzard Entertainment reported that its Battle.net online multiplayer service grew by 800%. Starcraft remains one of the most popular online games in the world. On the 3rd place we have Command & Conquer Generals. This is a real-time strategy game and the 7th installment in the Command & Conquer series. The game was developed by EA Entertainment Pacific and released by EA Games, of course, on 2003. The single-player campaign storyline follows the Order of China, then the Global Liberation Army, the GLA, and the United States. Command & Conquer Generals has been banned in China, guys. This is a very interesting fact about the game. One of the reasons is because in the introduction of the game, Tiananmen Square and its surroundings areas in Beijing is decimated by terrorist nuclear weapons. However, Germany also decided to ban the game because it will give underage people the ability to play the war in Iraq before the real war had even begun. And on the 2nd place we have Age of Empires 2, a medieval real-time strategy game developed by Ensemble Studios and published by Microsoft in 1999. Due to the popularity of the game, an HD version was released in 2013. In Age of Empires 2, you take control over 13 civilizations and you are given a handful of villagers to raise an empire. The player can advance through 4 ages: the Dark Age, the Feudal Age, the Castle Age, which is also known as the Middle Ages, and the Imperial Age. All this during an 1000-year timetable. Between 1999 and 2000, Age of Empires 2 won a single gold and 3 platinum awards from the German VUD. The game was critically acclaimed and back then was the real-time strategy game of the year. So far, Age of Empires series sold over, pay attention, 20 million copies. And the best real-time strategy game of all time is Stronghold Crusader. The game was developed by Firefly Studios and it was released in 2002. It is the successor of Stronghold, only that it is set in the Middle East during the Crusades. Stronghold Crusader features 80 skirmish missions, 5 historical trails, a skirmish mode, and even has an extreme version that allows players to wage war using thousands of units. Stronghold Crusader has been critically acclaimed by many reviewers and it became really popular in countries such as United States, Germany or United Kingdom. Till today, Stronghold Crusader sold over 2 million copies and it remains deep in my heart one of the best real-time strategy games of all time. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have another top 10 in mind, please leave a comment in the comment section below and I will check it out. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please subscribe and stay sexy.